Welcome back to Beards and Brews. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you know when we have another one brewing. This week's movie is going to be The Ghost and the Darkness, starring Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas, but also June Tao from Rush Hour. Fellas, what'd you think?
Oh yeah, I was like, I know that guy from something. Tom Wilkinson.
Yeah, like just pointing it out immediately. I was like, what? And I looked up, I was like, oh, he's just young.
Slightly, I guess. Yeah, I thought the movie was fine. It's pretty much a couple of guys just doing dude things.
Just a couple of dudes having a good time.
Just a couple of guys being dudes.
I like Lion Man Forever. It covers my biggest fear, just being eaten alive by a creature. And it's got like some really, to me anyways, nightmare fuel visuals of like lions eating. And
yeah. I was going to say, like, do you mean, like, does it cure your fear? Because this movie is fucking visceral. Like, it just gives no shits when people get eaten up.
Yeah, no, that's like one of the main reasons I like this, because I don't know what it is. It's like, oh, no, that's my worst fear, but you want to look at it? It's kind of like that. Like, when the lions are eating those people-esque dummy things or whatever, and it's a real lion really chewing on whatever the fuck that is, that's awful.
It's certainly awful. There were a couple of times where it almost looked like the actors were kind of like, you know, you see an awful accident on the road and you have to slow down to see what happens. Same thing.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They just have like a side of pork laying there in the grass. That's what it is.
Wrapped up in like fucking worker clothing, and the lion's just ripping into it, and all you can think is, oh my god, that poor man.
Yeah. So I had never heard of this movie before, and like every time you guys talked about it, I was just like, what's the name of that movie? Oh, yeah, that. I get it now. I get it.
Well, this is the first time I've seen it as well. Like, it's just one of those movies that gets flew under everybody's radar or something like that. And I can definitely see why. I can definitely see it.
By the title, you think, well, oh, that could be, you know, anything. It's really vague, doesn't have that, like, African lion thing about it. It's just kind of a ghost in the darkness. You know, that could be a horror movie. That could be some kind of a thriller or whatever. You don't know that it's about what it's about.
Yeah, the fucking real life story, wink, of the lions of Tsavo, which really are two real male juvenile lions who went on a gigantic killing spree.
Yeah, I looked it up. This is based on real events that were written about by Mr. John Patterson, the Val Kilmer character, written down in a book, and then this is what they made with it.
I get that they did. I almost feel like they took it verbatim sometimes, because some of the shit in this movie, I was just like, what? How did that happen? It's been 2 seconds. How is that man dead?
A lion ran past. 13 dead.
Yes, this guy's throat fell off.
But basically, just to get the ball rolling, we are in the year 1898. This is about the English and a couple Englishmen who are working on, Val Kilmer is a bridge engineer, and he's an Englishman. He is supposed to go to this area of Kenya and build a bridge, but there's lion shit going on.
Lion shit indeed.
He's sent there by this boss man that looks like a fat Bill Paxton, yet sounds like John Malkovich.
Yeah, it's Toontown, and it happens a bunch of times in this movie where, like, Val Kilmer will just, like, walk into a scene opposite another character, and they'll just be like, listen, this is a joke. Now I'm going to tell you why that was a joke, and that's my character. And Val Kilmer would just, like, say nothing the whole time.
Doing that Val Kilmer Batman role of just potato.
It's like his entire role in those scenes are just like Joey Tribbiani's Smell the Fart.
Just faces.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, Val Kilmer, you want to build a bridge? And he's like, I'm your Huckleberry.
Nah.
But there are only a handful of real characters in this movie, and one of my first, like, I'll say low-tier issues with this movie is how every character that we meet is so one-dimensional.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I was having a hard time okay, this movie is beautiful. This is set in a really great location, and it was really cool to see all these, like, verandas and stuff, but, like, the people in it were just so cardboardy. I'm glad you picked something out, because I couldn't figure out why I wasn't, like, in it to win it, you know?
See, now, I'm going to agree 100% up until the point that Michael Douglas shows up fresh off the set of Romancing the Stone. I thought he brought a lot of fun to the character.
He did. He's like, once he showed up, I was like, all right, well, he's at least a little bit interesting, not entirely one-dimensional, not really sure which way he's going to go, I don't know. He brought some questions, something interesting. I will give him that.
Yeah, I agree as well, because up until then, it's just almost documentary-like, but like almost in a way of like, you can definitely tell this is from the point of view of someone like exacerbating his own story.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like a blockbuster documentary.
That's a good way to put it.
Now, I did like the boss man's lines. He's such a fucking perpetual dick.
Yep.
He's like, oh, well, I'm about to have a kid. He's like, I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about your kid. I want to be a knight. Go build this goddamn bridge. You got 5 months.
Yeah, he's just like the one-dimensional character that Tom Wilkinson is like Dick Boss. Or I don't even know that he's his boss. Like, I don't know what he is. He's just like the guy that's overseeing everything and just happens to also be a complete dick.
Yeah, from what I can gather, he is the gentleman that owns the railroad they're trying to extend via that bridge.
Okay.
So I think he called Val Kilmer in because he's a known engineer and he can, get the job done.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, we've got to go to Africa, got to help save it from the Africans, and of course, end slavery.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, you're English. You just went there to steal everything for your museum.
Facts. And did you like, whenever they get on the train ride, we're treated to that obligatory tour of Africa, like with the safari wildlife thing? It was like 2019's The Lion King, but with better music.
Yeah, even the movie itself like had a moment of like realization, like, why are we doing this? Because the fella had to go with the Irishman. I think his name was like Cannon Fodder. Wow, you know a lot about Africa. I've been here 5 years. How long have you been here? He's just like, a day.
40 minutes.
You're talking about Angus, the curly hair fellow?
Yeah.
His character is whatever, boring and all that shit. But as soon as his character is introduced, Val Kilmer starts to do the one thing I've always noticed, and that is his accent. And it's fucking, like, it'll be there, and then it's gone. Then it comes back. Only in the scenes, really, with the Angus character, because he hears Angus having this accent, so he's trying to have one as well. It's weird.
Like,
Yeah,
hey, Angus, that looks like fun. I'm going to try it myself. Oh, that didn't work? All right, we'll drop it the next scene.
It's almost like he's on the spectrum or something. He just like has to absorb his surroundings.
I just think it's so weird because the whole time he's talking, he's nothing but prim and proper. But as soon as he goes to Africa and meets Angus, he's like, "Oi, me laddos, let me tell you what, sweet Irish Jesus."
Yeah, like at first, because the character that Angus played was introduced just through dialogue at first. I was like, wait, is Val Kilmer supposed to be the Irishman? Because he would like prop up in these like little Irish bubbles of conversation. I'm just like, wait, what?
Okay, did they actually say Irish? Because this is a Scottish accent, full and like.
I feel like it's an Irish. It's in my brain. I don't know why.
Now,
Yeah.
Angus could be Scottish. Val Kilmer says that he is Irish, character-wise.
Really?
That could be it.
Yes, he even when he writes home, he says God invented liquor or alcohol so that we Irish wouldn't take over the world.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember that.
We're introduced to the next character as soon as they arrive there, which is Samuel, and he's kind of cool because he's like a more badass Morgan Freeman.
Dude, Samuel's the best character in the whole movie for me. He has the best lines. He's always in the best place at the best time. Like he was never in danger, really. I felt like he outsmarted everybody just by kind of like trailing along.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a scene enhancer. Like he's always in the background doing something to make you take your eyes off Val Kilmer just standing there.
Yeah, I liked him as a character, but again, he's a little bit one-dimensional, and they tell you exactly who he is as soon as you meet him. That's Samuel. That's the only guy around that everyone can trust. That's
cool with
verbatim what they say.
Well, now we know, and knowing's half the battle. Now, what else we know is that they're working on the railroad. How do you know that? Because they're zooming in on all these fucking workers' super sweaty faces really close up.
I mean, you have to know it's hard labor or else you wouldn't give a shit.
Nothing works in Savo except for the workers.
Da-na-da-na.
Yeah.
Another thing that we know about this little village area that they have is it's been stricken with malaria, and there are a lot of malaria patients.
Dude, so many fucking patients. And the doctor guy, he's the king of Rohan, and his advice is, hey man, don't get sick.
I mean, it had me rolling. I mean, coming from the captain of the Titanic, it probably means a lot.
Now, I'll tell you, that part wasn't funny to me, but like right after that, he's like, yeah, that was supposed to be a joke, but I guess it didn't come off that way.
See what I'm
Sorry.
saying? Val Kilmer's just there to absorb. He's like a fucking black hole.
Just whoa. Oh, but they're informed immediately that even though he just arrived, he needs to go kill a lion. And I don't care who the fuck you are. If I just rolled into Africa and I am a firearms expert, okay, you could give me the most familiar gun I've ever owned, what the fuck ever, and said, hey man, go shoot a lion. I'm gonna go, what? I don't know if I'm okay with that. I build bridges.
I don't know. Maybe he's just trying to bridge the gap between whatever's going on just to get shit done.
He's like, I bring worlds together, and I use this gun. Just somebody get me some fine ass for some bait. That's a donkey joke.
I think it was more like, hey, there's this new guy in the village. He's a white guy. We've had a whole lot of our people, eaten. Let's send him out. See what happens to him. Maybe he can get done what we couldn't. And if he doesn't, it's not one of ours.
I mean, to his wooden credit, like they tried to punk him, and he came back with a lion corpse. So
it's true.
Now, I did laugh when he's like, I'm going to get this done. He goes, of course you are. You're white. And then he just turns around and goes, you're goddamn right. And he goes out and shoots the fucking lion. Just like,
was he Walter White?
Oh, say my name, bitch. And throws the fucking lion corpse at his feet.
But everybody's kind of happy. They start feeling safe. They get extra productive. And in the 7 weeks since he's been there, suddenly, he made a nice Matchbox model.
Man, okay, so 7 weeks passed. And this blew my mind. What has happened in 7 weeks? We got introduced to a dude who killed a lion with his bare hands. And that gesture of grrr with his little hands up becomes a thing for the rest of the film. And it took Samuel 7 weeks to make Val Kilmer a necklace.
I don't know.
I mean, everything was slower back then, including arts and crafts.
It was a piece of string through a fucking claw. He's like, look, man, I just ain't been getting around to it. Fucking gets back to his tent, eats a couple edibles, and just stares at the stars.
They said he was trustworthy. They didn't say he was good at anything. Actually, that's pretty honest. Like,
That's
he doesn't
true.
really do anything.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things that they do throughout this entire film, and I think it's one of the few things that they do right, is they build like this atmosphere of not knowing if there's a lion, because they're constantly showing that tall, wavy, yellow, the straw-like grass, and they'll show you like just a glimpse of the lion moving in it, and he's fucking hard to see, like hard as shit to see. But they keep doing it over and over, and it's kind of like Jaws, and I really like that part.
Yeah, I referenced that in my notes. Yeah, it's where this takes place is in this little flat part, like near the savannas, and they're trying to cross a river to the other side, but there's just miles, as far as you can see, of savanna, just like this golden wheatgrass flowing and, things like that, the occasional animal or whatever. But somewhere in that golden mess is maybe a golden lion. They have similar colors.
Very similar.
That's one of my favorite things about this movie, is the setting and the atmosphere that's always around. But it's almost like this atmosphere is polluted by like these wooden characters, and they're just kind of like fumbling around. Val Kilmer's character has all these fucking gadgets and the ideas how to trap the lion and stuff, but they're always just so almost happenstance, and they never go right. It's almost like this guy is perpetually falling over himself, and his life is just all Murphy's Law, because everything is just like wackily going awry.
The lions just keep showing up, and they're like, where does he get all these wonderful toys?
Yes. Like when they did in a bit, they do that whole box thing where he's built this whole like storage container to trap the lion using real people as bait, and then 4 grown-ass men miss every fucking shot possible out of their guns. Not only do they not shoot the lion, but they blow out the door that it came down just so he can go free again, and they light themselves on fire.
None of them can do anything there. They're just like standing around. They are protected behind like metal bars or whatever, but they just stand back like 15 feet from this lion, or like, I'm gonna maybe get off 2 shots between the 4 of us.
This is one of those things where I do believe they wrote this into the screenplay verbatim, as the actual Patterson guy wrote in his book. He's like, oh yes, I put 4 men in there, and they turn out to be absolute boobs. You're like, what the fuck? You know?
In reality, these men had probably never held a firearm before in their life.
Yeah.
And between the lion actually being in there and roaring, and then the fucking concussing boom of the firearm going off inside that small space.
Well, the one guy looked like he was, his ears were hurting from the lion's roar itself. He was just like,
Yeah.
oh, I can't do anything. This is too loud. Somebody turn it down.
Movie did not do those gentlemen justice.
Fair. I will say that the lions are the star of this film because every time you get to see them, they're getting fucking amped up.
Yeah, after the first initial lion kill that Val Kilmer just happens to get, one shot, one kill on that, there's 2 left that are just like the stars of the show. You got one with this sort of a lighter mane, and then you got another one with a darker mane. And it's a very pronounced mane, too, at least it was to me.
Yeah, Scar and Mufasa.
Yeah,
Sure,
pretty much.
I'll go with that. I mean, it's a really subtle way to tell the difference because otherwise it'd just be like lion and lion.
Other
Thanks.
lion, yeah.
Now, this is the point to me where I get to really get involved in the film. We get our first kill of the lion. Now, not kill of the lion, kill from the lion. And it's almost POV, and it's fucking scary.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is, his name is Mahina, I want to say. He's not Samuel, but the other, like, main African guy that we've gotten to know.
Yeah, he's like the farmhand looking guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he gets pulled out of his tent, and the camera shows you a side view of like the lion's legs trotting and the side of his body kind of looking at the legs. All the while it shows his hands being drugged through like that straw. And then you finally get to see at like the very end the lion's face, mostly in darkness, its eyes reflecting the moonlight, chomping down onto him. And to me, just the idea of putting yourself in that position of POV being drug away to be eaten alive is fucking awful.
It's what the movie does best because like the moment that he's actually yoinked from the tent, it's a little comical because it's very, very abrupt. He's just like, grab and he's gone. And then the movie gives you a moment to realize, like the character does, like, this is it. He's about to get fucked.
Yeah.
And nobody, like, he's shouting and everything, but nobody really notices or anything, or nobody does anything about it. He's just, like, getting dragged by the leg into the savannah.
And the movie makes no time at all to show, like, how fucking awful it is to be eaten alive, because they don't outright show his corpse, but the way that they present it, you can notice how grisly it is. Like, it's just enough.
It's almost like whenever Hawkins gets pulled away in Predator. He's drug away, and then there's just a pile. It's like, is that Hawkins? It's like, I can't tell.
Yeah, he's just goo.
Yeah, it's just a bloody pile of flesh that we see, like, vultures picking at the next morning whenever the guys actually discover Mahina, or what's left of him.
Now, the next little piece we get is just Val Kilmer's fall from grace. He came into town, smoked one lion. Now he's got the fucking Ghost in the Darkness out there. And they're just literally attacking in broad daylight and slaughtering people. They're up to 30 kills.
Yes, 30 kills. Like after the 7 weeks or whatever. I mean, like after 25 is a nuke. This is out of hand.
Yeah, meanwhile, like, they want to, keep you reminded that Val Kilmer's character has a wife back home. So he writes a letter to her about, I can't wait for our baby to come here. This is such beautiful country. Can't wait to show you. Hold on. Let me say that again. I can't wait to show you this country. I can't wait to show all of this to you. It's going to be great. This is beautiful here. Come on down.
P.S. Photograph nudes.
Yeah.
And his Samuel's like, oh man, you like your wife? He goes, oh yeah, very much so. He goes, I got 4 and I don't like any of mine.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, like he's got those little one-liners. That's why I think I liked him the most.
Oh, something I had a little question about that Coleman was watching and he couldn't really answer. Like, Angus, I think is his name, the Scottish guy. He's like, he was sent down there to convert the continent.
Yeah, that's why I was a little worried about that Juntao's original reason to be down there. I was like, they're just there to spread Christianity and just like kind of keep everybody under their wing.
I don't know. He didn't say what he was converting them to, and Val Kilmer was like, well, my mom is Catholic and my dad's Protestant, so, you can't get anywhere with me. Like, I just needed a little bit more pounding out of what exactly he was converting.
They say here in a moment, once the boss man shows back up, that he was bringing him Bibles, so I can only assume it's some form of Christianity.
Just the regular ass Anglicanism.
I just lump it all in there. It's all Jesus.
Okay.
It's all Jesus. I like that. But this was just...
man, that'd be a good shirt. Just it's all Jesus.
Yeah.
It's all good. But this was the movie's way just to kind of round out his character as quickly as possible, because in the next scene his neck falls off.
Oh yeah, dude. And fucking the special effects here look good. But whenever he gets killed, Samuel's on his body, but you can't see his face, and someone's talking, and you can only assume, just for a moment at least, that it's Angus with his throat ripped out going, "Oh Lord, help me, I'm bleeding to death. Oh no."
But yeah, the lions like make their way into camp in broad daylight. Like the other kills were like in the middle of the night, so they're like, hey, we're doing a curfew, don't go out, stay inside. Let's build a fence and we'll keep everything in check. Well, now the lions are like pure big dick energy. They storm in and they spot one. They're like, okay, let's go get him. And they sneak up on him, and they had already dragged some poor fellow away. He's just chewing on him right in front. He's like, come get me, you fuckers. And the guys are like, aiming down the sights. You hear just like a small growl, and fucking Batman looks right up and he's like, gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, he gets Assassin's Creeded by a fucking lion. And that's not the first time, and it's not the last, that you're going to see these lions just doing like coming out of nowhere.
But the way this is cut seems so, I'm just gonna say bad, because like the lion jumps down and we see him clearly swiping Val Kilmer's arm. He's like, I'm fucking hurt as shit. And then the lion runs off to the other lion where they can get together, trade notes, and fuck off again. In that cut, in that moment somewhere, that poor Scottish boy gets mauled. How?
Okay, yeah, like I just noticed that he wasn't there anymore. I didn't see where it happened. I assumed that he died somewhere by the hands of a lion, paws of a lion. I don't know.
Well,
but I just straight up missed it.
Well, we had a moment here, and we debated a little bit, and the missus came up with it was an inside job.
Yes. You think Val
Samuel
Kilmer did it? Samuel.
He just started shivving him and then fucking sliced his throat and was like, oh no, the lions got him before he could convert me.
Time to get a fifth life.
Now, the next scene, the boss is coming, and all the workers, with 100% understandability, want to roll the fuck out. They're like, dude, we're leaving.
Yeah, there's both a malaria epidemic, and there's been like 30 to 40 of their workers ripped to shreds by lions recently. I'd want to leave too.
It's such a dickish mood. Like, it's almost uncharacteristic of Val Kilmer's portrayal, because he's just like, understandably frustrated, but also understandably that, people are dying. He's like, hey, what are you going to tell your wife? The biggest pussy on the savannah is you?
He did that thing where he like thumbs his nose twice. He's like, "Aight," and just goes back to work.
Oh, like Bruce Lee.
Yeah. Now the train rolls up, and the boss steps off. The first thing out of his mouth is, "I fucking hate Africa," and he goes, "Well, where's my boy Angus?" And he's like, "He's dead as shit." And he goes, "Huh? What's the matter? Lions? Don't care about y'all. Don't care about the local wildlife. Sort it out. Look, I'm making a trap. Are you dumb? I'm calling a real hunter, and I'm going to destroy your reputation. Peace."
Yeah.
And he fucking, wow.
Fades away, yeah. Never to be seen from again.
Yeah, we need a professional hunter. His name is Remington, so, he's coming. They dropped it by name, His name's Remington.
Like an actual gun is on his way. Like, I don't understand why Val Kilmer didn't even play the whole situation up. Like, he was asked about the trap that he just built, which was actually somewhat impressive. Mm-hmm. And he was just like, I used it back in the day, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, did it work? And he's just like, well, no, but it will work. You could have told this man anything. He was there for 4 seconds to check up on you and bounce.
But no, he's got to be Mr. Honest. And, no, it didn't work.
Well, he did say, hey, by the time your hunter gets here, these lions are going to be dead. Don't even bother. Because, this is Africa in the late 1800s. It's going to take a while for him to get there.
I like how he didn't listen to a goddamn thing Val Kilmer said and sent him anyways.
Yeah. We do get to see, predictably, the trap. It not work. Spoilers. It didn't work.
The trap was next to flawless, but how the trap was handled by the folks inside was a fucking disaster.
The execution was all wrong. And I do mean execution. They could not execute that lion.
Like, I know it's not what was in the movie, but, like, given, like, a trap this big and having all these people involved, like, weren't there spotters or anything? Like, you can hear the commotion going on. I was like, huh, maybe we should take a see what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't just, like, I don't know, they've got enough guns. Put out a few guards, keep them on rotation overnight, you know?
Always in twos. That way, in case someone gets at least the other guy gets the chance to fire off a round.
Sure. Yeah, something reasonable like that. And this does seem kind of like a sizable encampment. They've got maybe a few hundred workers there.
Yeah.
Maybe...
Or they could do what they do at the end and just fucking clear out the goddamn fields.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why they didn't think about that before.
I almost feel like the movie had an opportunity to be like, Val Kilmer and his buddy walks up and see this pile of what used to be dudes. He's like, you know what got them? The fear.
God damn you.
Just four guys absolutely torn to shreds and like half of their bodies eaten. Yep, malaria got them.
Now, after that, the fucking main fella there, he's like, hey guys, we're leaving again, and you the White Devil. And all I could think about was Ace Ventura.
Yeah, White Devil.
And I started to laugh because Remington... Michael fucking Douglas looking like a cowboy Kid Rock.
Cowboy.
Just shows up, puts a gun to the man's head, and says, Remington will kill you! He shouts like Sam Jackson through this entire role.
But it's not like actual Sam Jackson, but Chappelle's Sam Jackson.
Yes, 100%. And I love that he's like such a badass. He goes, the devil did come to Savo, bitch. I'm the devil in Savo. Gun to your head. Go to work. And the guy's like, twice on the nose. I.
And like, this is where the movie kind of picks up, because be it as it may, the movie's a little dry given what we have, like, actor-wise. Even though I didn't really like him that much either, Michael Douglas adds energy to the back half of this movie.
For sure.
Oh, easily agreed, because the other guys are, they're all straight men except for Samuel. And then Michael Douglas gets there and he's just clearly doing whatever the fuck he wants in this role.
Yeah, he's just like walking around with his fucking dick hanging out, telling people what to do. He's like, Val Kilmer, we need to get the hammer down on this shit now.
Speaking of hammer, what I've got here today is from Enegren Brewing Company out of Moore Park, California. This is Hammerzeit. This is an 8.0% ABV Weizenbock. It's a dark, malty wheat beer. All right. Wow, this is really interesting. Definitely malt forward. There's a whole lot of little notes going on in there. They're prominent notes, but they're definitely just notes. Like, I've got a little bit of cinnamon, a little clove. Man, this is all over the place. I'll tell you what it tastes like, and this is going to sound weird. It tastes like Nag Champa, like the incense.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what it tastes like. But it's spicy. Maybe even like gingerbread in there. Those are just subtle things you pick up just like in your nose. Very solid, though.
Well, hey, speaking of interesting, Michael Douglas rolls into town, suddenly everything's on the up and up.
Yeah, and honestly, you don't really know which way Michael Douglas is going to go with everything when he shows up. He comes up like sticking a gun in somebody's face and is like, I'm the devil of Savo, and being kind of like loose cannon or something.
It's almost this is African Lethal Weapon.
Oh, nice. But he's considerate, okay? His mama taught him that. Then you got Samuel, and he's like, you ain't got no mom. And Batman's over in the corner like, dead parents.
Yeah, he sees a rose off in the savannah, like growing in a bush, and he's like, oh no!
Time for a flashback of memories I clearly recall.
Yeah.
That happens in this movie too. He has like a premonition or something. Like, he's like in the middle of like the workforce or whatever, and he sees his wife just like hanging out. He's like, hey, you got the baby, everything's great. Then hard cut to the fucking train of a lion rushing right at her like a linebacker.
Dude.
Yeah, like nobody around sees this lion, nobody cares about it. It just like straight up comes up and destroys this wife and baby.
We were like, there's no way this is real.
Yeah.
There's no way they're gonna show it. And then the lion fucking Dexter, we were like, oh my god.
Bitch, you got sad.
For real though, like that fucking thing is just coming full force, and she doesn't even see it, and she's like, "Oh, hello, blank El Nino," and as Chandler put it, bam, sack.
I mean, like, looking back, like, you know, he was around all these workers and they'd already fucked off, so I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, it's totally a dream, but like, it comes out of nowhere in the movie, and it's almost as shocking as like seeing some dude getting mauled.
Oh yeah,
I would say I had more of an emotional reaction to like the wife and kid there, because he was trying so hard. He's like waving and he's like, go back, and the wife is just like waving like, hey.
So you're telling me it's like the worst case scenario from True Lies, like the bridge is out, but she didn't hear him at all, and the car just careens into the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
The bridge is my way out.
He's just like, go back, there's a lion. What? Go back, there's a lion. What? Oh, there's a lion. Yeah, but that was all a dream, unfortunately. It'd be a lot cooler if that's how this movie ended.
Yeah, like it would have some like super fucking lion balls if it did. Like, holy shit, they fucking ate that baby.
Before the movie starts, when you just start to see the credits, no lions were harmed during the making of this picture, but a baby got fucked up.
Oh god.
Yeah, didn't even get eaten, actually. Just destroyed for the hell of it. It was just fun.
No.
That's so fucked. Destroyed for the hell of it.
God damn it. But they get all hyped up to go hunting in the morning, and Val Kilmer decides that he's going to bring his buddy's gun for some fucking reason.
Yeah, I don't know why.
This whole scene coming up is so weird, because they went from just literally miles and miles and miles and miles of just yellow to just the most lush green you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was abrupt too. Like, they're in the savannah, then suddenly they're in like this mountainous rocky area with all these, it's almost jungly.
You even see the juxtaposition, like, while they're in the middle of it. Like, you know, Michael Douglas and his Serengeti fellas are just like hanging out in this thick forest. You know, they're just poking around, making a bunch of noise, trying to like weed out this lion. And then it hard cuts to Val Kilmer, like it's like drastically different place, and he's like in this like very lush area that has like a mountain in the background, nowhere near a forest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they're really riding on the fact that the people viewing this movie have probably never been to Africa, and they just think, you know, Africa, it's all like that, right?
Where tropical or oases are a stone's throw away. Now, the Maasai are all dressed up, and they've got like all these cool little gears on, like to make them kind of look like they're lions themselves. Mm-hmm. There's a moment that Amber fucking made me crack up. So we're sitting there, and I'm taking the notes, and one of the Maasai guys is standing next to Michael Douglas's character, and he turns his head, and you can hear like all his little beads jingle, and fucking Michael Douglas looks right at him, and Amber, without missing a beat, just goes, "Geez, Charles, did you have to wear your loudest face beads? God."
That's pretty good. But it kind of like, I don't know if like this harkens back to like this being basically all anecdotal, but like, you know, they have a ton of people on board trying to find this lion, and fucking Val Kilmer's just like, there it is.
Oh yeah, just it's right there. Oh look, I'm gonna shoot it. Oops. That
also has to be like from his like little writings or whatever. It's like, no, it wasn't my weapon that failed. It was fucking the captain of the Titanic's fucking gun that failed.
It was the doctor's. For whatever reason, the doctor has a rifle. I mean, I get it. The doctor should have a rifle out there, but for whatever reason, he took the doctor's rifle.
I don't know. I guess that's what they used for anesthesia back in the day.
I mean,
we're gonna have to operate.
Oh, he didn't make it. What a shame. Oh, but in the middle of all this, we neglected to mention that they built a new hospital. Like, the first thing that he says is like, hey, I don't want to be here very long. You're going to listen to what I say. because I know you don't want this to keep going on. First thing you should do, build a new hospital. Get that smell of fucking death out of here.
Oof. What a fucking roast in the middle of Africa. It's kind of rough.
Did you guys notice that after he fails to shoot the lion and he gets away, the Maasai guy kind of walks up once again with Michael Douglas, but he's making that exact face of that little girl meme, the little blonde girl who's got the teeth sticking out like,
Like
he's making that exact face.
They were just goofing.
But then, like, all the Maasai just bounce because he's a failure.
Yeah, we can't hang with this crew.
It's kind of odd, but like I don't know if that's just like the movie just saying like, man, we got a lot more people. What do I do with them for the rest of the movie? Yeah, they can't be here.
Yeah.
Not pay them. Like you were saying, Chandler, they wanted that hospital, but they're going to need a bigger hospital because they start chumming for them lions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is when we have a few moments that are definitely like Jaws-esque, where they're just like, you know, watching out in the darkness, and you'll hear like something, and you're not sure if that's a lion or if that's just like the wheat blowing in the wind or whatever, but it's definitely Jaws-esque.
Now, in Jaws, you had 3 men who were genuinely trying their best trying to find this shark. In this movie, you have Michael Douglas clearly yelling at these people like, I've seen fresh paws around the hospital. They're casing the joint. They're going to eat everybody. And then they go this long route of preparing this trap, and they go straight for the fucking hospital.
They were casing the joint?
Yeah.
Is this like the African job?
Oh, God damn it. Make me sick.
That's just every movie now. It's just going to be location job.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
So they
fucking
do-
lions show up to that trap, and they're immediately like, it's a trap. Let's go grab fucking takeout from the hospital cafeteria.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no kidding.
These fucking lions got like a 26 piece. They fucking ravaged this place.
Like, what had happened was they set everybody up in another hospital. They built like a temporary tent or whatever, while they stored all of the cattle and everything in what was the old hospital building, and I use the word building in air quotes. And Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas just like hang out with their guns pointed out the windows of the old hospital, and you know they tiptoe across the roof or whatever. You know, we know that they're there, and then they just disappear, and it's like, huh, just a box.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they're over at the real hospital.
Yeah, this fucking like African buffet. It's a huge disaster. I couldn't believe it was happening, and it almost never stopped. I was so just like, it came at me all at once, and I wasn't ready.
Dude, they could have just, now mind you, some of the imagery, once again, is horrifying. Some of it's comedic. They could have just had these lions standing on their back legs swinging, because these boys were just in there to do harm.
Yeah. They weren't
for
hungry.
sure.
They were just like, I'm doing this for fun. You know, it's the lion equivalent of like popping bubble wrap.
Basically, like Brady brought up earlier, it's almost like the lion equivalent of those velociraptors from Jurassic Park, because they were straight up fucking tearing this place apart. Like that one dude that like went up the tent pole to hide, like, nah, bitch, we're just gonna pull the tent down to get you.
They're learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Bitch, I used to be in the circus.
Oh, he
Oh,
took
no.
Cub Scouts.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh. But yeah, fucking Theoden, Lord of Rohan, is killed. And
I mean, yeah, I know, of course. It's almost like everybody, spoilers, everybody but Samuel, who had like a really long talking part, like I was like, these guys are fucking mincemeat.
oh yeah, dude, there's zero surprise on who's getting killed next. They're like, oh man, check out this guy. You're like, oh, I like that guy. Oh, he's dead. Check out this guy. I like that guy. Oh, he's dead too.
That voice.
This is like African Game of Thrones, but condensed from like 10 seasons into an hour and a half.
So this is season 8.
Yeah, they're all just fucking dead.
And Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas are just so bewildered. Like, how did this happen? Boy, this was a mistake.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Yeah.
The place is in shambles.
Fucking Gandalf ran off and was like, look to my coming in the east.
And understandably, like, all the workers will just leave. There's like enough.
Yeah.
Like, we've trusted these fucking whiteies too long.
These white men are dangerous.
I mean, they were so frightened and they wanted to get out of town so badly, they were willing to jump in front of a train to stop it so they can get on.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just like all of them, just like, we're fucking out, man. We're out. And then Val Kilmer and fucking, I can't remember his name. Michael
Douglas.
Douglas. I wanted to say Michael Keaton that time.
No. Can't have two bats in the same movie.
No, you can't have two bats. They're just like, all right, well, we got to go get him now. This is all on us. We gotta get serious now.
Yeah, everyone bails but the main characters, and you got Doc Holliday over there sweating up a storm in a new outfit.
Well, this time he's like super orange for whatever reason.
And by the way, did you guys notice that he has way too nice of teeth for 1898? Like,
Dude.
no one would have teeth that good in 1898.
I made a crack that didn't make it into my notes about, because he's like, we're doing this for the ivory trade. And I was like, dude, his teeth are the whitest fucking thing there.
Yeah, like, he's had bleaching, he's had Invisalign, it's all going down. Perfect.
Fucking pure, like, Colombian cocaine white.
So this is when they go up through the cave. I was thinking this was earlier, but this is where the two of them go up through the mountains, and they find this cave, which ends up being the lion's lair. And it's just littered with bones, and then they come across, like, hundreds of human skeletons just picked clean.
Mm-hmm. Then Michael Douglas picks up a baby skeleton. It's like, is this yours?
Fucking, they got these little chest lanterns, and all I could think was whenever they were lighting them up and just the way they looked, Eric, you're going to completely understand this. Why are we still hunting these lions, Dutch?
Oh, Christ. Yeah.
He's like, we need the money, Arthur. Now come on.
You gotta
that
have
from?
faith.
Dun, 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 dun.
When they arrived at the cave, like, you know, it's crazy. They find a lot of dead bodies, but, like, the whole time I'm thinking, like, huh. So Samuel's the only one in the camp right now.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
So I was totally prepared for, like, them to roll back into town. It's just like a giant Sam mess.
Well, it's okay. He's got like 12 guns.
Just whoever just left their guns, they're just all his by proxy.
He's like that kid from fucking Mad Max Thunderdome, just one on each hip.
Well, I mean, if we've got like 40 guys who got eaten, and let's say 16 of them owned guns, you know, they're not going to be using them in the lion's stomachs.
I mean, the math checks out. I dig it.
I had a little chuckle thinking about, you know, you said that Samuel's the only one back at the camp. Lions aren't in the den. You're thinking that he's at, you know, at home getting killed. They're coming back and there's like a Family Guy cutaway and it's just fucking Samuel playing poker with the lions. He's like, oh shit, they're coming, bail. And they're like, later.
Later.
We will get this white devil.
I was gonna say, like, it's either like he was gonna be wasted or like they come back and he was the guy that like laid out the lions.
Just with his hands, just like, yeah, I put him in the sleeper hold.
It's like, how did you do it, man? He's like, easy.
Brilliant. Now,
I've got a bush back here that grows catnip.
They're just all fucking out of their minds.
now they go back to the encampment or whatever, and he's like, I'm gonna make a macon. And I looked at it, I was like, dude, that's scaffolding. You're just making scaffolding.
I'm like, what the fuck is that? That's just like a couple of pieces of wood you put together.
He just made a really tall horse thing.
Oh yeah, like a fucking hobby horse or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. He's just really tall for whatever reason. And that was his brilliant plan. Like, what?
Yeah, and Remington's like, all right, listen, you do your Macon thing. I'm going to be over here doing this other thing far away from you. You're on your own, kid.
I really enjoyed that because after he said that, I expected Quint to step out from a tent to be like, man goes on to the scaffolding. Scaffolding goes into a clearing. Lions are in that clearing. Our lions. It's got such that vibe to it.
I just don't understand what he was trying to accomplish. Like, I get, you know, if you're higher up, you can see further. You can see the lions coming. But it, like, hard cuts to him in the dead of night with a baboon.
Yeah, like, the whole thing was like, they're getting used to us up in the trees. They won't be used to us up in this wooden scaffolding thing.
So Val Kilmer's like, I'll make my own tree with blackjack and hookers and fucking rolls out.
Exactly. So we're introduced to a baboon, and then we get to mourn the baboon.
Yeah, well,
oh goodness, it's honestly that quick. It's so, I don't want to say embarrassing, but it is.
yeah. Why is this monkey there, by the way? Like,
Because lions don't like the shriek of a baboon.
okay, so he was like bait.
I guess he was like bait slash monkey alarm.
Was he like tied to this post, or was he just like chilling?
He was
Okay.
tied to the post, yeah.
Yeah, he gets fucking et up real quick. And
Real quick.
this is also something that blew my mind. Why is Kid Rock down on the ground roaming around?
Trying to steal copper.
Fucking meth heads. And,
But-
you know, we got Val Kilmer sitting up on top of his Macon or what the fuck ever, and he's like this supposedly seasoned veteran guy. He's fucking seen lions out in the open and kept his shit together, but a fucking hawk or an owl or whatever bird that was
an
gets in
owl,
his
Yeah.
general area, and he loses his shit.
I had the missus roll and was like, wait a minute, were that lion and that owl in cahoots?
Ah! Yeah, no, those animals were definitely teaming up. He just knocks them down onto the ground, and like, does Val Kilmer have a pistol, or did he get it off with a rifle?
It's no wait, Val Kilmer didn't kill that one, right? I thought it was Michael Douglas came out of the shadows with his fucking shotty.
He wounds it with the pistol.
Okay, that's what I thought happened.
Okay.
I wrote down he might have hit the lion, but he didn't kill it.
Okay. I was a little confused at how it played out because like the editing's kind of like funky
Uh-huh.
as usual, and I was just like, wow, there's some gunshots. Well, Val Kilmer's down. Michael Douglas is there. Something happened. Okay, he's dead now. All right, cool. One down.
Oh yeah, but he smokes that lion, just wow, and it's fucking such a like uncelebratable scene. They're like, oh man, we got it, and then they fucking go back to camp, clink some bottles, and guess what? Fucking Michael Douglas gets et.
Yeah, like it's so oddly paced. Like we did it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone. Well, I guess it's up to Batman now.
Yeah, like the progression from one scene to the next scene to the next scene is you've got this fucking lion doing parkour off the rock. And this is a really cool, like, I get like 300 vibes or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the lion is jumping off and like in midair, Remington shoots him in the fucking face just before he gets to Patterson. And I'm like, all right, that was cool. They go back, they've got 3 bottles of champagne around, just like hanging out, drunkenly chatting. All right, I'm going to bed, y'all. Next thing you know, Michael Douglas, nowhere to be found. His gun is still there. Where'd he go?
I mean, for a guy who's probably lived his life, larger than life, a loud man, he went out like a lamb. Like, this dude, like, the scene of the crime is so fucked up. Like, there was no screams, no struggle or anything. It just looked like a lion jumped in, yoinked him, and fucking ate him.
If CSI would have came, they'd have been like, there were no signs of a struggle.
Huh. Suicide.
Yeah, it's like the lion, like, tiptoed into his little tent and put his paw over his mouth. Shh.
Oh.
This end scene, to me, is so over the top that it's ridiculous. Like, mind you, there's a lot of stuff in this movie where you're just like, huh? But this end bit is just so, like, action blockbuster that it's stupid.
It's almost one-man army-like, because, like, Val Kilmer's, like, covered in schmutz, dirt, he's got a gun. He just legitimately runs out into the fucking savannas, just, like, looking for this lion, sniffing him out.
Yeah, and this is where he, like, catches fire, goes full on scorched earth, destroys the savannah.
Like, when he started lighting shit on fire, it's like, oh my god, he's gonna burn all of Africa down over this.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Samuel, or somebody is like, where are you going? And Val Kilmer's like, I'm going to sort things out. It's like, where was this badassery, like, I don't know, the entirety of the movie?
I was blown away by the intensity, number one, of Val Kilmer, because you're like, holy shit, this man can act. Look, he's doing it. And then all of a sudden, you're surprised because the lion apparently had the same idea. He's like, come at me, bro. He fucking meets him on the bridge.
Yeah, he does, and, like, fucking Val Kilmer goes from hard-ass to, like, pussified. Like, he starts running from him.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I didn't expect to see this lion whenever I was going to hunt the fucking lion.
His wingman Samuel's like, I got him, get down. And he's just like, no.
No, he keeps running right at him. And so Samuel's like, fuck this, and takes off too.
I don't blame him.
Now,
it's just this weird moment.
Samuel's the true MVP. Because fucking Val Kilmer runs up a tree. Samuel tries to toss him a gun. Val Kilmer doesn't catch it, falls on the ground. Val Kilmer jumps to the ground, gets the gun, tries to fire, wounds it, has to blast it again. And after he gets it the second time, and it's dead, mind you, fucking Sam's there again, just holding a big ass knife. He was ready.
Yeah.
I mean, that whole scene was just like, it felt like it was stretched a little too far. Like, oh, he's got the upper hand. Now he doesn't. Oh, now he's going to have a gun. No, he doesn't. Oh, he got knocked on the ground. I guess it's over. But to go back to what you guys were saying beforehand, like, both of these lions' deaths are, like, so unceremonious. There's no, like, hurrah or anything. It's just like, the deed is done. Next scene.
Yeah.
I just want to give credit to my son who made me fucking crack up at the end of this. He goes, oh, wow, is there a sequel where the lion's family travels to London for revenge? And Africa in London?
But, just as unceremonious as the lion deaths were, the movie just kind of peters out. Like, you get the reunification of Val Kilmer and his wife with baby sans abrupt lion attack. You get some, like, god-awful narration from Samuel. He's like, that was very bad what happened. And if you want to see those lions, be sure to check out the Chicago Museum where they're put up.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like, the lions literally just got murdered, but they're in the Chicago... Fill in some blanks for me, guys. What?
I mean, my curiosity did take over, and they are. They've been taxidermied, and they're just, like, in the Chicago Museum somewhere. Just hanging out.
Oh, okay. To me, what I thought was funny was like, all right, the lions are dead. The next day, y'all motherfuckers is back to work. And y'all definitely ain't getting paid for that time you had off.
It almost feels like it.
Actually, you're not getting paid for the time you had on, because this is Africa and you are all slaves. It's 1898.
He says that out loud.
Sir, it is 1898. Get back to work.
I guess.
Looks at watch. It's already 1988. Fuck. You get it.
Give up.
Yeah.
So, to me, this movie as a complete package is, I don't know, it's strikingly lackluster. The performances were just, like, bewilderingly bad. I guess a bit one-dimensional. Minus Michael Douglas, even though I kind of found him annoying, at least he, like, gave something to the movie. He was trying to, like, push this along. And by the end of it, I just felt unsatisfied. Like, I didn't want to be told a story to be capped off with like an invitation to go to a museum. Like, is that all this was for? It was just like, a commercial for the Chicago International Museum or whatever.
The Field Museum.
Yeah, like, it's a movie that it happened, but unfortunately it didn't have enough charm to be like a good bad movie.
Now, I'm completely with you there, 100% on everything that you just said. It's not a bad movie. I don't ever want to watch it again, but it's not a bad movie. The performances were generally lackluster and one-dimensional. Michael Douglas was fine in the role that he played and was definitely the most enjoyable part for me. But otherwise, like, it's a story. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. Nothing was especially captivating or anything like that. It is what it is.
I still like this movie. I've seen it a bajillion times, and to me, it's never been one for the performances. Having been on this podcast for a hot little second now, it's really opened my eyes to a lot of flaws in the film, which there are many. But to me, I always watch movies most of the time for the monsters, and this movie still holds up in that respect. I still really am intrigued and in awe of these scary fucking lions. Now the rest, whatever. But the lions are the star here.
There is a little thing that I don't think we touched on with the lions. They do a good job in the filming of making these lions look bigger than life, in much the way that Jaws is a supersized shark. You can't really do that with lions, but they do seem like these sort of primeval alpha lions.
Yeah, it's actually a really good point. Like, the lions did a bang-up job.
More to that point, Chan, man, in the movie, these are two big adult male lions with beautiful manes. In reality, they were underfed juveniles.
Huh.
Oh my god, they're just two little shitbird teenagers going around making a ruckus.
Exactly.
Teenage angst, that's all it is.
Well, there you have it. The Ghost and the Darkness. If you have any strong feelings about the movie or the show itself, leave it in the comment section below.
Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the little bell icon down there too, or maybe it's up there. I don't know where it is. But hit the bell icon so you know next time we've got another one of these brewing.
Check us out on social media. We got that Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and a Reddit. A wonderful administrator constantly pumping out new things for you guys to check out. And if you don't go and look at it, maybe we'll send 2 fucking lions to your house. Not those lions, but relatives of those lions to eat you alive.
Psst, 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 psst.
Hey, kitty. I mean, why didn't Val Kimmer take a spray bottle? Problem solved.